In the twilight of the Han Dynasty, China splintered. Warlords carved up the empire, vying for power in a chaotic symphony of ambition and steel. 208, 81 men stood above them all. The formidable Cao Cao, Chancellor of the Han. Having unified the north, he cast his gaze south, towards the rich lands of the Yangtze River, determined to bring all of China under his heel. His target, the southern warlords, Liu Bei and Sun Quan. Facing annihilation, these two rivals forged a desperate alliance, their combined forces a mere fraction of Cao Cao's colossal army, which was said to number 800,000 strong. The stage was set for a confrontation that would decide the fate of the nation. This is the story of the Battle of Red Cliffs. Cao Cao's campaign began with a thunderous advance. He had recently chased Liu Bei out of Jing province, forcing him to flee east to seek refuge with Sun Quan. Cao Cao, brimming with confidence, absorbed the surrendered naval fleet of Jing province, giving him a powerful weapon to control the Yangtze. He sent a letter to Sun Quan, boasting of his massive army and demanding unconditional surrender. The court of Sun Quan was thrown into turmoil. Many officials, intimidated by Cao Cao's overwhelming power, urged their lord to capitulate. It seemed like the most logical choice. Surrender and live. Resist and be crushed. But two men refused to bend. The first was Liu Bei's brilliant strategist Zhuge Liang, who had traveled to Sun Quan's court as an envoy. Through masterful diplomacy and sharp analysis, Zhuge Liang exposed the weaknesses in Cao's seemingly invincible force. He argued that Cao Cao's northern soldiers were exhausted from their long march, unaccustomed to the southern climate, and ill-suited for naval warfare. He painted a picture not of certain defeat, but of a golden opportunity for victory. The second man to stand firm was Sun Quan's own commander, the young and charismatic Zhou Yu. Despite the pressure from his peers, Zhou Yu saw the same vulnerabilities Zhuge Liang did. He famously declared, "I ask for 50,000 elite troops, and I guarantee I can defeat Cao Cao." His confidence swayed Sun Quan. The decision was made. The alliance would fight. The two armies finally met at the Red Cliffs, a series of bluffs along the southern bank of the Yangtze River. Cao Cao's massive fleet anchored on the northern side, while the allied fleet, commanded by Zhou Yu, positioned itself opposite them. The initial skirmishes favored the south. The northerners, unused to life on the water, were plagued by seasickness in the damp, unfamiliar climate. Tosol Betis, Cao Cao, following the advice of a strategist named Pang Tong, who was secretly a spy for the allies, ordered his ships to be chained together, stem to stern. This created massive, stable platforms, almost like fortresses on the water, effectively reducing the seasickness and making his men more comfortable. It was an ingenious solution to a pressing problem, but it also created a fatal flaw. Cao Cao had turned his mighty fleet into a floating tinderbox. The allies knew this was their chance. Their plan was audacious, relying on deception and the elements. One of Sun Quan's generals, Huang Gai, sent a letter of defection to Cao Cao. Huang Gai, a veteran officer, feigned discontent with Zhou Yu and promised to bring a squadron of ships over to Cao Cao's side. Cao Cao, though naturally suspicious, had received reports of public arguments between Zhou Yu and Huang Gai. Part of the elaborate ruse. He took the bait. The trap was set. Now, all they needed was the right wind. On a cold winter's night, the wind shifted. A strong southeasterly breeze began to blow, blowing directly from the allied camp towards Cao Cao's fleet. This was the moment Zhuge Liang had supposedly predicted, an almost mystical feat of meteorological knowledge that has been immortalized in legend. Under the cover of darkness, Huang Gai's defection fleet set sail. But these were no ordinary grain ships. They were fire ships, filled to the brim with dry reeds, firewood, and flammable oils. As they approached Cao Cao's anchored armada, the crew set them ablaze and escaped in small boats. Fanned by the strong winds, the blazing vessels crashed into Cao Cao's chained-together fleet. The result was a cataclysm. The fire spread with terrifying speed. The chained ships couldn't scatter, couldn't escape. The blaze leaped from vessel to vessel, turning the river into an inferno. The night sky glowed red with the light of 1,000 burning ships. On the northern bank, the fire spread to Cao Cao's land camps, adding to the chaos and panic. Trapped between the fiery river and the allied forces who launched a full-scale assault, Cao's army disintegrated. The soldiers, once proud and disciplined, were now a terrified mob, trampled and drowned in their desperate attempt to flee. The southern victory was absolute, a stunning triumph against impossible odds. Cao Cao himself barely escaped with his life, fleeing north with a handful of loyal guards. The once mighty army that was meant to unify China was shattered. The Battle of Red Cliffs was more than just a military victory. It was a pivotal moment in history. It halted Cao Cao's southern expansion and ensured the survival of Liu Bei and Sun Quan. The dream of a reunified China under a single ruler died in the flames on the Yangtze. Instead, the battle cemented the division of the empire into 3 rival states. Cao Cao's Wei in the north, Sun Quan's Wu in the southeast, and Liu Bei's Shu in the southwest. The era of the 3 kingdoms had truly begun. The consequences echoed for decades. The balance of power was completely redrawn. Liu Bei, once a landless wanderer, used the opportunity to seize Jing province and lay the foundation for his own kingdom. Sun Quan solidified his control over the south, establishing a dynasty that would last for over 50 years. The battle became a legendary tale of how the few can defeat the many, how strategy and ingenuity can triumph over brute force. The names of Zhou Yu, Zhu Zhiliang, and the other heroes of Red Cliffs were etched into the annals of history, celebrated in poetry, opera, and novels for centuries to come. It stands as a timeless testament to the drama of human conflict, a story of ambition, alliance, and the single spark that set an empire ablaze. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the epitaphes of history, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for more deep dives into the battles and heroes that shaped our world.